guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about why I am no longer pre-med, why I stopped being pre-med while I was at UC Berkeley, and just kind of catch you up on that last couple semesters I had at Cal. Okay, so as most of you know, I was a student at UC Berkeley, and most of you I think know this, that I was an English major, but while I was an English major, I was also pre-med. And basically, yeah, as you probably already know, you can be pre-med and major in anything, so it's basically just taking the pre-med classes and kind of doing the pre-med-ish things like volunteering at hospitals, so you can start building your hours, you know, joining those kinds of clubs, which I did all of that while I was in community college and also while I was at UC Berkeley, because I had this, you know, goal, this set goal that I was going to become a doctor. Specifically, I think I was wanting to be in OBGYN, but we are going to talk about what happened, why am I not doing that anymore, and yeah. And then also in my next video, I'm going to be talking about like what I'm doing kind of now and kind of like a life update, but this video is basically just going to be focused on why I'm not pre-med anymore. So yes, I went to Cal, and while I was there, I was doing the whole pre-med thing. I was in all these pre-med clubs. It was cool. I met a lot of very cool people, very nice people, very smart people. And while I was there, it was around, well, my first semester there was not the easiest for me. Transitioning from the community college setting into UC Berkeley setting, it was a little bit, as you would expect, like different. And living on my own kind of for the first time, moving away from home. I'm originally from Los Angeles, so it's not that far, but it is far if you have never left home before, kind of, so it was far for me. And basically when I got there, the first semester I took some English classes, and I believe I took probably a chemistry class or something, and mind you, chemistry and I have never been good buddies. For some reason, I don't know, chemistry just takes me like a really long time to learn. It's been kind of like that since high school, but I still persisted. I still tried to study as much as I could that subject, but it's just something that I never quite really loved. So I took chemistry, and oh my goodness, you guys, it was brutal. It was brutal for me. Oh my gosh. Chemistry's always been tough, but going into Cal's setting, as you would expect, it's very competitive, and the way that I felt like it was kind of set up, which it kind of is set up like that, is to weed out the students that are not going to be pre-med anymore, and just kind of like weed out students. So they make it basically all based on the exams that we had, and we had like 3 exams, I think, maybe, and a final or something like that, midterms and a final, and that was like the only thing your grades were based on, and it was really tough for me. And I still was like, no, I'm still gonna be pre-med, like I'm still gonna be a doctor, like this isn't gonna set me back, you know, because if I just take my time with this, like I can learn this, which I still believe, like I have the ability, and everybody has like the ability to learn things, but I just really struggled with that. And in the meantime, I think I was also taking like calculus or something, which was, no, I think I was taking pre-calculus actually, which was okay for me. My teacher was really great, so that helped a lot. Moving on, I think I ended up dropping out of that chemistry class, and basically I don't know, I was like, okay, I'll just take it the next semester. So I dropped out like near the middle of the semester, dropped out of that one class, and then I stayed in the lab section, and that was okay because, again, I had a really great lab partner who was able to explain things to me that I didn't understand. And basically after that, I really seriously still thought I was going to be pre-med, like, and I had met so many students at Cal that were like, oh, I used to be pre-med, and I would always think like, oh, you used to be pre-med, like why aren't you pre-med anymore? Like, no way, that's not gonna happen to me. Like, I'm gonna stick this through, I'm gonna stay pre-med, I'm gonna become a doctor, like this is it, like I'm gonna do this. And I really thought that until about my last semester, or last couple semesters, I would say like last year. And basically, I'm gonna get like really real with you guys. So basically in my like last year of Cal, a person who was very close to me passed away, and that kind of really made me reevaluate a lot of things in my life, as that kind of stuff tends to do. And I just kind of like had an epiphany in a way where I just was really thinking about my life and just things and people and what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted to do while at Cal and just what I wanted to do after I graduated. And you know how sometimes, or for a lot of people, you have that like nudging kind of like dream in the back of your mind that like you kind of just, as you get older, you kind of tend to push that aside. You hush it down because you're scared, because it's not the way that most people would want you to go maybe, or you don't feel like it's a stable career path, and it's just like one of those silly little dreams that will never become a reality, even though like inside your heart is like pining away for that dream. And if you've ever had a dream like that, it's really, really, really difficult to push it aside and quote unquote grow up and like pick something stable and pick something that will make you money and will be nice and safe. And it's hard. It's really hard to actually follow what you want to do because it's not necessarily the best, easiest path for you. And I know that's kind of silly because it's not like medical school would have been easy anyway, but it was something that would be stable. It was something that I knew if I really, really, really pushed at, I could do. And I knew it would be really, really, really hard work, but I knew that I would at least end up with something that was very stable, that was well respected. And that's like a big thing too, is just wanting to like have that respect with your career and what you're doing, and you want support from people, and you want people to think that you're smart, and all these silly things that don't actually matter but still do matter to you when you're growing up and going to college and all these things. And so, especially coming from my community college, it was like a big goal of mine to transfer to UC Berkeley and just be the best. Like I wanted to prove people wrong. I wanted to prove people just, yeah, like community college kids, like, yeah, I went to community college, but look at me, like I'm going to medical school. And it was like this weird like tug of war and weird ego thing that I just like had in my mind. And I really did like science, and I still love science, but I just knew like after that tragedy happened, I just really thought like, do I really want to dedicate my entire life to this and like not follow anything else? Like, because it's serious. You have to like you're dedicating your life to it. And I thought about it, and I just looked at the classes I was taking. I wasn't happy in the classes that I was taking. I wasn't doing well. And I just knew I really didn't want to do it. Like, it just hit me. Like, I just couldn't do that with the rest of my life. And another big thing was that I, for some reason, thought like the only way I could help people, and that was like a big thing, is, you know, I want to help people. I want to help people. And it's like, that's what everyone says. But I really, really thought like, oh, well, if I really want to help people, like I have to do something science related. And while science obviously clearly helps so many people, and doctors do so much great work and all of that stuff, I really felt like for some reason that was like the only way I could somehow help people. And after the incident, I just, you know, I realized how silly I was being. And of course I could help people with so many other different things. I didn't have to be a doctor. I didn't have to have doctor in front of my name to be helpful to people and to change the world. I didn't have to do that. And so I really sat and thought about that aching little dream that I had in the back of my head since I was like a kid. And I really decided that I was gonna follow it. And I know that's so cheesy and like so cliche, and it's like ridiculous maybe to some of you, and maybe it's not ridiculous to some of you. I hope some of you will look at this and reevaluate these types of things before you get to college. That would be even better, but you know, it's a learning lesson. I'm glad I decided to change what I was doing at the age that I did, because I would rather have done it earlier than like 2 years into medical school and be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? So I am going to go back to my love, which is storytelling. And I've always loved storytelling, and that's something that I know can never like let me down. I will never be sick of it. I love it. I've loved it since I was a kid. I love it now. It's been that aching dream inside of me since forever. And like even as a little kid, me and my friend, we would sit and like write stories all day, and we would illustrate the stories and just like art and just telling stories. And with that, with this YouTube channel too, like I have realized how much I just love learning about all of the different aspects of filmmaking, about storytelling, about structuring a story, about characters, about creating worlds with people, with things that I want to see represented in it. And that is what I'm going to do. And I know it's totally the opposite of becoming a doctor and having that kind of goal, but I'm okay with that because I know like deep down this is what I've always wanted and what I will never get sick of and what I will be happy with. And I know that's so cheesy and it's like, oh, it's not all about happiness, but sometimes it is about happiness, and it should be about happiness, and it should be about, you know, taking care of yourself and your mental health. And what I was doing while I was at Cal was stifling my dreams, and at the cost of like a little bit of my my health. Like it wasn't healthy to be studying the way that I was studying, with the types of, I don't know, tactics I don't know, the people. It's just the competition level. Like there is a certain level of cutthroatness, as you would expect at a school like that, and I just was not able to do it in that field, if that makes any sense at all. I hope it does. And I really commend the people who are really wanting to be pre-med, and I think that's great. And if that really is your dream and like that aching dream you've had inside of you and you want to be pre-med and that's what you want to do, that's great. I think that's amazing, but it's just not for me. And that's just something I realized, and something I am actually really happy I realized. And it is risky. I mean, of course it's scary to follow your dreams and, you know, do these types of things that aren't stable, but I just like I don't feel wrong about it. It feels right. It's like the best feeling in the world is like picking what you actually want to do and pursuing it and just going for it. And if I fail, I fail. It's fine. It doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It just means that I failed once, and I can try again, and I can try again, and I will keep trying and keep doing it and keep creating and keep getting better, hopefully. And yeah, that's basically what happened and why I am no longer pre-med. And there's a lot of people, like I said, who I mentioned, who also started out Cal as being pre-med, and through the classes we all kind of just got weeded out. But for the kids who stuck through and were able to, you know, they just got it, and they just studied and they got it and were great, and they want to do it, that's great. But it's just not for me. So leave me questions or comments below. I hope you guys like this video. Like I said in a few other videos ago, I am trying to like be more real with you guys and really want you guys to get to know me, because I think that's one of my favorite things about watching YouTubers, is like actually listening to what's going on in their life and stuff. So look to the next video to see kind of like what I'm doing now. And yeah, and kind of like a little life update. So hopefully you like this video. I'm actually gonna drink this chamomile that I've been holding in my hands for the whole video. Oh man, chamomile. Love it. Okay, well I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!